This is in 36mm, it also comes in 41mm, but it's the blue Motif dial.
We're talking about classic wristwatches again.
How old's that one?
2021.
The person that bought this in the late 40s, early 50s, people would have looked at him like he was mad.
You have the leather strap, you have everything with it. The only thing that's not going for it is just the condition.
Now, it's just a standard size watch.
This is the first one I've seen.
The plating's a little bit worn. I'm going to have to try it on.
That will be retailing for £3,250.
Tudor Submariner.
So I think I'll probably be able to return you something around 2-3.
1971, so a 145022.
Somebody has got this watch from Rolex because they have a good relationship. They then sold it to us for a premium, and we sell it for a premium because you can't go into Rolex and buy any of these watches.
No, I've tried.
So these are military watches that were identical, but all made by different manufacturers. Omega, Record, Gruen.
Is this a watch that you bought new?
I bought it new, yes.
Do you know how old it is?
I got it for my 25th wedding anniversary.
15 years
15
ago.
anniversary.
So is it a Roadster? Cartier Roadster, yeah.
Automatic.
I think they don't make that model anymore.
No, they don't.
What would the list price have been when you bought it?
4,700.
4,700, yeah.
So they sell between 3,000 and 4,000 quid. It would just need refurb, so just remove all the scratches. Yeah, so I think I'll probably be able to return you something around 2-3 on a consignment. If I was buying it, I'll be buying for under £2,000. So a consignment fee would take around 10%. So we'd have the watch refurb, put it on our website. Once the watch sells, then you get paid after it's sold.
You don't get paid after it's sold.
Yeah, if I can give you a direct purchase, but you get an uplift if you leave it on consignment. If you're in no mad rush to have it sold today.
Well, it depends how long it will take, because it could be more in the next few months, I don't know.
So we sell around 150 watches per month here, and maybe 25% of them is on consignment. And something like this, as long as it's priced right, you know, it's going to be sold within 4 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, and you just get an uplift.
So how much did you say then?
2-3.
Could you do it for 2.5?
It's just difficult for us because some people might take things on finance where we have a fee to pay. If somebody buys it on Chrono 24, we might have to send it anywhere around the world. We cover all those costs. And like I say, it needs a little bit of money spent on it. This will all be refurbed, so it's saleable. We couldn't do anything with it like that. That takes a little bit of time. That'll be done within 3 working days.
Yes, then you got my receipt.
So hopefully it could be sold in a few weeks.
Yeah, but I'm going to price it to sell. We don't want to have it sitting here to look at it. We don't take things and just wait, try and get the most money for them. You know, we do try and get the most money, but we'll have to be fair. We'll have to look to sell it, look to move it. It's nothing I want to keep in inventory. You have the leather strap, you have everything with it. The only thing that's not going for it is just the condition. But like I say, 3 working days, it'll be like brand new.
Yeah, I think we'll go for that.
Then if for whatever reason it doesn't sell, you can always revert back and we'll always buy it. But then if it sells fast, then you get the uplift.
Okay.
So regardless, we would buy it.
It seems that everything's blue at the moment. We've got 2021 Sky Dweller on an oyster bracelet, and it's in immaculate condition. Something very similar to that, slightly smaller. So the Sky Dweller's 42mm and it has a much thicker case. This is a Datejust 41, which is a 41mm. So to compare the two, the watch has quite a thicker case, but very similar colour.
This one, I can see it on the desk. I haven't seen this at all. That was what I was drawn to straight away, and that is the Motif dial, I think.
So this is in 36mm, it also comes in 41mm, but it's the blue Motif dial.
Wow. I really like that.
We're seeing more and more of them, but they're still very rare. They're very difficult to get. And if you compare it to a flat blue dial, it just adds a bit of texture to it. And I think in years to come, there will be rare. There won't be as many, and they'll be very sought after.
I would assume that Rolex don't make as many Motif dials.
Yeah, I would say so. This, for example, this is bimetal rose gold. This has like a dark charcoal colour Motif dial. They actually do it in the bimetal. They do it in a silver colour and a charcoal colour, but this is the first one I've seen of either.
Right, yeah, no, same.
To compare it to the chocolate dial, for example, it's very popular. I think this is actually a nicer watch because it's just something that's different.
So, John, how much is that one compared to a normal steel and rose Datejust, like retail-wise, if someone wants to buy it?
Probably around the same at Rolex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just don't see any of them.
But in terms of like how much they're trading for on the market,
I would say that's between 1,000 and 2,000 more to buy than the chocolate dial.
Right.
So, for example, I sold a brand new chocolate dial last week for 14,500. I think something like that would be closer to 16,000.
And is it similar with the 36mm blue as well?
Probably comes at between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds of a premium more than just a plain blue dial, for example.
Okay.
I think we're selling that for 10,450.
Yeah, lovely watch, lovely watch.
So, some non-Rolex models that we've got, Cartier Roadster. Used to be a very popular watch. If you look at that, it's in great condition.
You know, I think this is one of the watches that Cartier fans actually miss. For some reason, I've heard more about this watch. You can't buy it anymore.
Yeah, you see them in full gold as well. See them with leather. They used to be the thing in the day.
How much is something like that going to retail for?
3,750, and that has a full set box and papers. A smaller size Breitling there, which again, if you look at the condition, it's immaculate.
And that's a Navitimer, I believe.
It is a Navitimer. I believe it's a 39mm. It's a nice clean watch. That will be retailing for £3,250.
Is that a relatively new watch, like an 18 or 19 or something like that?
I believe so, yes. I think it's around that sort of date. But if you look at it, it's very crisp. It's been lightly worn and it's polished up very nicely.
So this is a dial colour that I haven't seen.
Yeah, so this is a Tudor Royal. We see a lot of them in the light blue dial colour that they do. This is a silver dial, which just makes it a little bit more unusual. We'll be selling this at less than the list price, which is around the £2,000 mark. We'll be selling this for £1,700.
Okay, so good Christmas gift for someone,
It
I
is,
think.
and I just, like I say, we've never seen many of them, so it's nice. We've got ladies Cartier.
Is that what they call a Louis Cartier when it's in gold? Or am I making that up?
You might be right, Harry. I really don't know.
I know it's a tank.
It's got a brand new strap. It's just been polished, and it's less than £3,000. That, so that's 2,950. So it's a nice little ladies watch. Will make a good Christmas present. 2 full gold watches that we've got in again. Root beers at the price is very good at the moment. I think that's around £37,000. We've also got in something which is a very good value, full yellow gold Yachtmaster, and this has actually recently been serviced. It's still got the service stickers. Something like that will cost you around £22,000.
And when you say service, that's a Rolex service, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's got a card from Rolex to show that it's been serviced recently. And if you look at the condition, it hasn't been worn since. Some of these watches, you see the bracelet sort of very worn. I think this is early 2000s. If you look at a one like this, you can see how crisp the sides of the links are, and that just shows that it's had very little wear over the years. Some of them are very rounded. Some of them, there's no definition left in the numbers on the bezel.
I believe these are a very popular watch in Italy.
2 more. We're probably selling 5 or 6 of these a month at the moment. You can't go wrong with them. The price points changed this year. Probably looking at around 16,000 for a Batman with an oyster bracelet, 21, 22, and that's a brand new Pepsi. That's 2022, and you're looking at around 18,500 for that. I would say there's an awful lot more Batmans than there are Pepsis. But they're both a very nice watch, especially when they're in that condition.
Cool. And can I get a wrist check as well, John? What are you wearing today?
Steel, ceramic, Daytona. We've currently got 4 or 5 of these in stock, and they're just a great watch to wear all the time.
Can't go wrong. Goes with everything.
You can't. Okay.
All right.
Thank
Spot
you.
on.
Just to show you, because Nigel's been very, very kind and given me a gift, because he doesn't have the watch, but he has the box and papers for an Omega Speedmaster, which came in this very, very unusual
Can you
bit
see
of...
the side of that?
Yeah.
So it's like a Formula
It's a Formula 1 wheel, and you put the watch sits in there. So on that. So I have a watch that will go for, so thank you very much. I'm definitely glad I came today. Like I say, we'll cut the camera when we go back to the Belstaff leather jacket, because I will get wrong off Vicky for taking another Belstaff. So that's a lovely gift for coming up today. So we've pulled a few bits out, talking earlier, Tudor, so we're talking about classic wristwatches again. So Omega Speedmaster, Rolex Submariner, Tudor Submariner. So this is the slightly larger size, the 41mm case, but the epitome again of classic wristwatch.
And this is the snowflake.
This is, no.
No, it's
No,
not.
this is not the snowflake. So there were so many different models and the snowflake is the grey dial, where the bezel fades. This is your epitome of Tudor.
Right.
This is another watch that I've pulled out, and again, we're staying on the same lines because this is 1971, so a 145022. Obviously, this is all, I'm not that good. Obviously, this is down on Nigel's. It's fully working, and it's got an auction guide for between 4.5 and 6.5. I think it's going to be closer to the latter. It's got the original bracelet. It's just a nice, original looking watch. I'm just saying to Nigel, if any of his clients need watches restored, we at Watch Trader, we do a full restoration service. I pride myself on doing work where it's, I don't refurb and polish my watches, but I do put new crystals in. I do get them working. I put pushes on, but I lovingly restore stuff.
You've got a great name for restoration. Yeah. You're the man for that. Like
we get a thing. I've got a legal issue at the moment where a gentleman sent a 1965 red writing seed while at a Rolex. Mm-hmm. They've changed crown, bezel, hands. So
that's not your fault. That's them.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
That's what Rolex do. We did it on the last YouTube, and Harry said, well, did I have a big pile of spares somewhere? And they probably do, but they just replace with the equivalent
that
new manufacturer.
All the dials in.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail.
I know.
The Holy Rolex
dials
Grail.
And bezels and bracelets that I used to buy for 20, 30 quid.
Yeah,
now
they've got a
little
shed
bit more
full.
money. So, 2 more iconic watches, and like I say, it's just incredible. Had one of these when I was a kid. Not a kid, but when I was young. So I used to drive a gold 911 3-litre SC. The registration was HSB 748Y. I sold it, and the guy colour changed it to navy blue. Apparently it's back on the road in gold with Pasha trim. If anybody knows where it is, give us a shout.
I think I remember overtaking you on the coast road.
So, a famous watch. This is the Heuer Wolf of Wall Street. So this is the watch that Leonardo DiCaprio wore in the film, and that's its nickname now, the Wolf of Wall Street.
Is that a gold watch or a gold plated watch?
It's a gold-plated watch. Now, obviously this watch isn't brand new. The plating's a little bit worn. I'm going to have to try it on. I'm going to have to put it on the wrist. I'm going to have to put it on the wrist, and then you can get a little wrist check, because, I mean, it's gone not cool, but it's pretty cool now.
This has made watches collectible, though. Do you know what I mean? People will have collections of the iconic film watches as well. Yeah. Especially in like even your Daytonas and all that sort of stuff. That's how that started.
We've just been talking about a Datejust and a plexiglass Datejust, which Marlon Brando wore in a famous film, and it gets called the Brando. He wore it not on a steel bracelet, on a black leather strap.
And that's not even crazy money. I mean, what's that?
That's on at 300 to 400 quid. If it had been, the plating was a little bit better, it would be double. So it's a way of somebody getting in to a wristwatch.
Now it's a conversation starter watch.
Well, you could have 10 of them for the price of your cheapest Rolex.
And you know, if you were speaking with other like watch enthusiasts, you turn up with that and they turn up with a Submariner on. This is more cool. Exactly.
I've sold a few of these recently, and when people are asking, not everybody has the money to buy a 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 pound vintage watch. A lot of my friends' kids are coming of age, 18s and 21st, and they're saying, I've sold a few modern Oris recently. You know, the new ones are up to £1,000. Great value for money. There's a little Oris, which is a re-edition of a vintage watch. This is probably 10-year-old, and it's up for 200 to 350 quid. Can't fail. Can't fail. It's just a great little wristwatch. Jumping to something that I've pulled out purely because of size. This is dated 1947, so a vintage Omega. This is the equivalent of what we were talking about in the 50mm Rolex. The person that bought this in the late 40s, early 50s, people would have looked at him like he was mad. It'd be like having like a dinner plate, like having a grandfather clock on your wrist.
Yeah.
Now it's just a standard size watch, but
A lot of gold in
lovely,
it, yeah.
lovely piece.
I've probably priced that at scrap.
£400 to £600. Original winder, question we get asked all the time. No, that's just an aftermarket expanding bracelet. It's got no gold in it. It's just a bit of plate, but it's in keeping with the watch.
Yeah.
So it's the type of thing that your granddad wore. Another brand that's really, really popular at the moment, Tissot.
Yeah, they're really killing it with the PRX.
PRX, which is, again, we're going to talk about the AP, the Oyster Quartz, 70s inspired block case with a bracelet. But that is very, very unusual. I've only seen a couple of examples of this. This obviously smacks modern watch ceramic bezel. This will be a painted bezel, but probably at some point it's been redone because it's quite strong black. But again, a very, very funky looking watch. Yeah. You know, blue, red hands, blue subdial. What's the guide on that? Wow, 300 to 400 quid. I can see me being bankrupt next week. We'll finish up because I don't want to take any more of your time. But these are Nigel's watches. These are not part of this sale, but these are what we've been talking about, and I've been trying to educate Harry into the dirty dozen. So these are military watches that were identical, but all made by different manufacturers. Amiga, Record, Gruen.
It was a competition, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they were going, right, we're all going over the top, lads, at 9 o'clock. And one guy's watch was saying it's 5 past, one was 5:02. So they needed accuracy, otherwise they're going over at different times.
So all of these watches were designed to be accurate. Yeah. The luminosity had to be very good so they could see in the dark. They were all on NATO straps. So these, Nigel's just showed me that, 1955, Vietnam War, these are original. These will be American military issue NATO straps.
And what you're saying though is that the more prestigious brands like Omega, etc., are actually now the less valuable ones because people wanted the cool brands back
then. The Holy Grail, the rare. What happens is they've got a pecking order. So I've had a couple of collections. I actually collected them, got all dozen and sold them. I've got a friend of mine that I think is short of one at the moment. And that's what he'll be looking for. And the difference is it's one of those itches that you scratch. Sometimes people collect them and then move them on. Or you could buy that. You could buy those over a space of many years and then trade them in for something like that. Which is what a lot of people did. Yeah. I started collecting watches.
But is there supposed to be a 13 as well? The iconic. Is there?
I think it's an urban myth. But I tell you what we'll do.
Could be, though.
We'll invent the 13th. We'll be the 13th man, the 13th wheel.
Baker's dozen.
Nigel, thank you very much. Great to meet you.
Yeah. So Nigel, I do have to ask though, because it has featured in the background here. Who's this guy over there that's seen better days? He's got 1 foot.
That's the boss.
That's the boss.
Yeah. Now, what I did, because I've been an auctioneer, I was going to be quirky, and I was going to do the whole auction as a ventriloquist dummy. But I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. One day maybe.
Yeah, I'll be look out for that one.
Yeah, I actually collect ventriloquist dummies. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Well, it's his 60th next year and he's always wanted a Rolex, but he wants the Daytona, but I just don't know.
In steel or steel and gold?
Steel.
In steel.
Aye.
The ceramic or the non-ceramic?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Can I have a look at the options, yeah.
Just have a look at them. See.
Oh, the Submariner.
Submariner.
The Submariner.
In steel?
Yeah.
Something like you can wear daily.
It's,
Yeah.
Or maybe an Explorer too, that's a good watch as well. Do you like white or black dial?
Darker dial.
It's a darker dial, Ali.
So with the Daytona and the Submariner, you can get the black dial in both.
Is it only a white or a black face? Is there no is it not like a navy face, or is it just white, black?
Only in steel.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's a ceramic one.
That's the white. I don't like the white, looks a bit girly. Yeah. I think for you, for daily, everyday docks, every's a bit more practical.
So, we have black Daytonas.
We'll take them all.
Those are all different years. They're all in very good condition. That's an older one, so the newer ones have a black ceramic bezel, whereas the older ones have a steel bezel.
Yeah.
That's the same watch in white with the black ceramic bezel. Then we have some Submariners there.
It's a nice one. Yeah,
That has the
like
date.
those.
That doesn't have the date. That is the same watch as that.
That's
but
nice,
it has a
Dad.
green
The green one.
bezel.
No,
around it.
you're not keen.
See, I like the green.
I think it's just, yeah. I mean, you've got to get used out of it every day, so would you get sick of it? I don't like the gold ones as much, and I don't like the white face.
That's probably
That's
the
lovely.
most classic Rolex.
There's a commitment there. So this is the steel bezel, the older version. This is discontinued. This is a great watch.
I quite like
That's the
that
newer
steel
one.
bezel, Dad.
It's nice.
That's
but
a smaller face than that one, isn't it?
It's the same.
No,
it just
Is
looks.
it?
It looks smaller.
the
And
glass
that's
is the same.
discontinued.
Yeah.
but you want another price, so it'd be it'd be 25,000
But
quid.
did you say that one's an older watch? So does that mean
Yes.
you've had it longer, so it's not?
We haven't had it longer. The person who owned it has had it longer. So they don't make that anymore. That's probably more collectible.
I like an Air King as well. 'Cause that's a lovely watch. For the price as well. I
There's
think
some
that's
blue
like
ones,
$7.5 grand.
Is it?
Yeah.
And that's very
This is brand new.
simple. Is that brand new?
This one's brand new.
Oh, let's see. You've got a little bit of green in the face there,
I don't
and the
think they're
green
as
dial.
sporty though. That doesn't look as
But he's
sporty
wanting an
as those.
everyday watch, and he's got a massive watch.
That's lovely, that.
You can't go wrong with a Submariner. Those are probably all around the £25,000 mark. That one's probably around 22,500. Let me just get the details.
That's
on that
interesting,
one.
although that's discontinued.
GMT.
That's the same as that.
Do you want like this? It's cool.
I like the colour. See, I don't like the red. That's blue, and that's nicer than that one. I don't like the red as much.
This is the steel GMT with the black and the blue. This is a brand new watch. This is like 15.5. 15.5. Brand new.
So, regardless of how old they are, do you obviously get a warranty with yourselves? Or
Yes,
what?
they come from Rolex with a 5-year warranty. We provide a 1-year warranty, so
Right.
any of the newer ones will have
Depending on how old it
So
is.
if something's still got a warranty on it, you would get a year on top of what's already left.
It would run concurrently, but what we would recommend is any warranty issues that we take care of anyway. The reason being is somebody has got this watch from Rolex because they have a good relationship. They then sold it to us for a premium, and we sell it for a premium because you can't go into Rolex and buy any of these watches.
No, I've tried.
So what he's saying, if you took, for example, this watch is dated this week, if you took this into Rolex, like with Rolex, 99% of the time you never have an issue, but for whatever reason you had an issue with this and you walked into Rolex, I've got a problem with this watch, and the guy who sold it to us, he's never going to get another watch again because he sold it.
So that is a 2021 model. It's in a brand new condition, and that's 12,450.
£8,000 retail.
That's nice.
That's the same watch
mental.
without the date, and it's a slightly older model. It's slightly different. I think that's a 2018.
That one's a week old. It's saying just that's a week old.
No, I like that, but I like that one.
You like that one better? Let's have a look at that one. Is it the same, just dark?
Would you like to try it on? It's similar.
Oh no, just to see it.
If you look at it compared to that one has bigger numbers on it.
Quite a lot.
That's a Submariner and that's a GMT2. Do you want to maybe have a
They've
try?
both got like the larger white circular, and you don't like that one.
But
You don't like that one.
they're not my type
not as
watch.
flashy.
No, it's not that fit. I just don't like
Oh, that's nice.
liking
Well, if you're
that.
going to get one, I suppose.
It's no bigger than that, is it?
That's a lot bigger than that.
Right.
Probably a similar size dial, but
It's
that's quite a
chunky, isn't it?
watch, yeah.
It's smart, that like.
And how old's that one?
2021.
Right.
If you look at it though, if you look at the clasp on the back, it's
It
brand
hasn't
new.
been
Brand new,
worn.
it hasn't been
Yeah.
worn, there's no marks on it.
It's crazy how the wind.
So that'll still have 4 year, well, round about 3.5,
It
4
will,
year
yes.
guarantee.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the warranty.
They're very-
So Rolex changed from 2 years to 5 years. The reason being you don't have an issue with a Rolex watch.
Yeah.
And with regards to servicing it, you're talking like 3 to 5 years if you're wearing the watch regular.
Would you do that? The
We service. Yeah. You can take it to Rolex, but so we're probably like half the price of what a Rolex
Yeah.
service would be.
What are you looking at for a service?
Depending on which watch it is, but around £300.
And it'll take 10 days with us. It'll probably be £500-600 with Rolex, and it'll take a couple of months.
Basically just oiling and cleaning the
Took
parts.
that.
Yeah.
It took us to get 3 months to get that back.
From Breitling, and that was 500 quid for the service.
Yeah.
I've got an AP which has been in there like 7 months now.
Well,
4 to Mars.
Any other ones that you like? So you
That's the Sea Dweller, which is a bigger version of that. It also comes in steel.
I didn't want to put it down in case I'm wrong.
Okay, that's alright. I'll just pop it on.
that's
thicker, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's like
slightly
that.
bigger.
That's a bit like that.
Do you want like a black or a colour on your dial? You don't like the dial with this like a steel dial. You don't like that
Well,
one.
the Submariners all come with these. Don't they?
Oh, they're the
Yeah,
ones
ceramic.
that's the same with the green ceramic. That's probably around £3,500 more with the green.
Was that like a limited edition? Was it? Or?
It's just anything that's green with Rolex is typically more sought after and then therefore more expensive.
They are rarer, they're the green dial ones.
Yeah.
The green bezel ones, sorry.
Is that a green? Is that got like
Can I try that Daytona just to see I've tried one on?
famous last words?
It's around about the same size, isn't it? Or...
It is. That's
roughly
41 mil
different.
and that's
That's the one
40
with
mil.
let's have a look. Is that the one with the? I do like the steel.
They've got the dials on them.
Mind, I must say that one to me that you've had on with the black does. I know, obviously, if you know Rolex, that looks a bit more expensive than that one. I think that's just because of what
Just
it
down
is.
to personal choice with a
So
Submariner
that looks
or
more
a
like a bit
Daytona.
like a tag, like your
You
old
can't go
tag.
wrong.
Whereas that looks different. I know it's different. No, it's obviously not a tag, but
Might you put them on next to each other and then you'll see the difference in the
Well,
size and
I-
stuff.
let's have a look, Derek.
There's no difference in size.
Oh, I think that one looks a bit smaller.
Yeah, that
It
one
is.
looks
It's
smaller.
probably,
Yeah.
if you look at it from the
It
side
looks a
as
bit
well,
neater.
it's a bit thinner.
Yeah, that looks a lot neater.
The Daytona probably wears a little bit smaller, even though it's the same case size than the Submariner.
Yeah.
And I think if you're used to that big chunky Breitling,
Yeah, the
it's
Submariner's
different.
quite a bit smaller than what you're used to.
so maybe you want to go for that middle section, which is a bit bigger. Is that green one different to that green one, or they're the same?
it's just
That's
that green one?
actually, how old is that, Harry?
That is 2010, so that is the previous
Yeah.
generation. In fact, it's 2 generations old, but that watch is actually significantly more than both of them.
I don't
like
think
the
you can
gold.
go wrong with a Submariner if that's what you like.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely
How
gorgeous.
much is that one?
22, isn't it?
22 and a half.
Which was the other one, Cass, that you...
Sea Dweller?
That's the bigger one.
That's a Sea Dweller, but that also comes in black and steel like that.
That's big,
It's just a
isn't it?
chunkier watch. I think if you've got quite a chunkier
You don't
watch,
want
the
the-
Submariner's probably a better compromise because it's
down,
slightly
isn't it?
different.
Yeah.
You don't want a lot of similar size watches when you can have something that
Yeah, I think these ones are probably.
it'll be less noticeable on your wrist, something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got that on.
So that's the Daytona. And that's the Submariner.
It's a Submariner.
See, and I think for you, it would be the one on the right anyway.
This one.
Yeah, I think the Daytona's lovely if you had lots of Rolexes. I think that's maybe quite dressy.
It was the Submariner with the date on, the Submariner without the date. and the
And what's
date.
that one?
That's
date
the one
on
without the
date?
date, and that one is the 2018. It's probably a touch over 10,000 for that one.
Where's the date and not the date, Dad? Where am I looking?
You see, it's
You
got
see
like,
the
it's
dome?
got like a dome on it.
Let's have a look without the date. Do you want the date, do you?
Depends if you use the date on your
Are you
watch.
bothered?
I do, but it's probably cleaner without the date.
I was going to say that's a bit like with that magnify. I don't know if I like that like magnifying glass thing on this face of the watch. But I think that one's possibly looks a little bit smarter.
What age is that one?
2018.
2018.
But again, if you look at the condition, it's in a brand new condition.
Yes, I can...
No one's worn that either.
No.
So what's the difference
Sorry,
in price
Mark.
with date
Do you
and
want to open it
date?
up? Just have to...
If they were the same age, probably £1,000. But because that one's 3 years older than that one, it's the difference is
About
with
two.
the age and the date, so it's about £2,000
£2,000.
different. Yeah.
You'd think the older the watch, the more value there would be, wouldn't you?
It just depends. Yeah.
Obviously, a Daytona's maybe.
Daytonas are very collectible, but like with that one, for example, we haven't polished it because some people don't like them
Yeah.
polished. So if somebody buys that, we'll then give them the choice of whether they want it
Yeah.
polished or not.
I like that you guys view the watches from a completely non-biased standpoint as well, because you get people who come in and they've read so much online, this, that, and the other, about every single watch. That is it your own opinion on the watch, or is it you like it because other people like it? Whereas really, I think that it's best to actually go with what you like.
So what is that at list? At like retail price, the one you've got that my dad was trying to
So,
have.
yeah,
Yeah.
8.4 and you would be paying 12. That I'm not straight on there in the date. It would just be for you looking at the date.
And the other thing, like whether you'll ever use it,
It's beautiful. It's very
the bezel's like is a timer, right?
Timer for diving.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, I use it to like time me food in the oven or something.
That's very you. Yeah, it's just the right size. It's very you.
It's enough of a difference from that for a nice change.
So say in 5 years' time, if you got sick of that and wanted to come in and trade it for a Daytona, you would take that back off.
Yeah. We'd always
To put towards.
There's a lot of people that change very regularly. Sorry, I'm turn that off.
Also,
wanted to change it.
say if you've had it for 4 years and you think you want a new one, you would
Just
put that
to
cash.
keep that one.
No, you would put it towards.
You don't get rid of watches for.
And it's definitely the one you like.
That's lovely, and it's I like it with a
You like it with a date, that's fine.
with a date on. I really do.
Because that's the only one that you've got.
In
Does
that
someone
watch.
go in, obviously have a think about it, and
Yeah.
would you
Yeah.
hold it for a day or two, or
Yeah, that's no problem at all.
we have a think?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time you open till on an evening and stuff?
We're open at 9:30 till 5 and this 10 till 5 on a Saturday. Couple of other nice little ladies watches that we've got. So that is 36mm rose gold bimetal fluted bezel oyster bracelet. Still has the stickers all around the clasp and the back of the case. It has like a slate dial and it has the diamond on the 6 and the 9 on the Roman numerals. So that will make a great Christmas present for somebody. That's 36mm. This is 31mm steel. It has the RBR diamond bezel. It has like a pink dial and it has diamonds on the dots. The retail price from Rolex for that is about 14,000. That is a 2021 model and we'll be selling that for 13,950, which is there or thereabouts the list price. They're very popular, those. The diamond bezel makes them more expensive than the ones without, but we won't have that for very long.